It's not easy coming into our friend group.
I want like a light whitish pink. Yeah, that one's nice. I think this is the one that you picked out, actually, Paige.
But she's really trying so hard.
Your hands are actually beautiful. I am so obsessed with you. Can we get a little time?
If that's all it takes, welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Summer House's babe, Paige DeSorbo.
Hello.
How are? Let me see your nails. A light pink.
Yes.
I will not be.
I always do light pink.
Oh, well, I'll be doing a black, so you don't think I'm obsessed with you. Do you consider yourself the babe of the Summer House?
Oh my gosh. Yes. No. No, I don't. You know who I think is actually the real babe of the Summer House, who looks good in everything, is Amanda.
Amanda is very attractive.
When she comes out in a bathing suit every morning, I'm like, oh, God.
I mean, but you're not surprised when people think you're the babe of Summer House.
No, I think it's a great compliment.
You at the nail salon judging Jules' choice, and you're like, oh, I think you chose that. And you were like, was my favorite look of Paige DeSorbo of all time.
Thank you so much.
Things are really heating up this season, as we saw in that clip. Jules is trying a little too hard to fit in, especially with you. Do you think she's doing it on purpose, or do you think she's just trying to be sweet?
I think she's trying to be sweet. And I think that I didn't realize in the summer how awkward she felt until like I was watching certain episodes, and I actually texted her and was like, oh my God, if I ever came off like I was being rude or like you weren't fitting in, I'm so sorry, but like we're such good friends now.
That's so sweet.
But I was like, oh my God, is that like how it looked to her? Like I got really nervous because she is really nice.
Did she feel like you were being rude?
She was like, oh my God, not at all. Like,
oh, good.
It was like my own thing in my head. You were always super nice. So when people say like she was copying me a lot, and now I think of it as like she's like my little sister. Like she wants to be like me.
And you know, imitation's the sincerest. It's a flattering.
My whole job is built on people copying my clothes.
Well, right, exactly. You consider Jules a friend.
Yes.
And she was a friend last summer when you filmed.
Yes.
Okay, so you never
always been a friend. Yeah.
Never had a problem with her.
Never had a problem with her.
Well, speaking of friends, your BFF Hannah is getting very cozy with Luke. Let's take a look at their moment in the hot tub.
I'm ready to go out. Do you want to go?
I'm pretty comfy right now.
I want to make out in the pantry. Wait, you don't want to?
Why do you think that you're trying to pursue me when you know you have no chance?
I don't think I'm wasting my time.
Okay, I mean, I know Hannah very well. Obviously, you do. She seems to be like putting it on Luke and then cooling him off.
Yes.
Putting it on, cooling it off. Like, do you want them to get together? Do you ship them? Does he have a chance?
Okay.
Yeah, tell
Here's
me.
how I really feel about it. I loved Armand and her together.
Yes.
I always thought that Luke is dangerous, and I will stick by that statement.
Elaborate for me on the danger part of Luke, because I feel like that's what Hannah's attracted to.
He's 6'3", he's gorgeous, he's charming. He's too perfect to be real. And I get a little skeptical.
Were you in Hannah's ear when she was like flirting with him, being like Armand, 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 or you were just like let her go and do her thing?
I was definitely letting her go and do her thing, but I would voice my opinion when she would ask me like, what do you think? And I'd be like, I love Armand, I think he's great, but like if you want to pursue something with Luke, then like totally, but be careful.
So you're more Team Armand than Team Luke for Hannah?
Yes.
Okay. Armand is coming to the house in tonight's episode, I heard.
Yes.
Will there be any drama between him and Luke? Any territorial?
You'll definitely see them interact, but Armand is like calm, cool, and collected always. So he was being himself, and he would never, even if he was annoyed with Luke, I don't think he'd ever let it show.
Do you think Hannah was doing a disservice to her relationship with Armand by flirting with Luke so openly and brazenly?
I don't think so, because they weren't like exclusive. They'd never had that talk.
Okay.
And everything that her and Luke were flirting about, or when they were flirting, she was very upfront with Armand. So I feel like she played it.
And is Luke really, he seems like a flirt, which I totally relate to, but is he flirting exclusively with Hannah, or is he equal opportunity flirtations?
Exclusively with Hannah.
Huh.
He walked in and he locked eyes with her, and like he knew. He liked her.
Interesting. Well, there's definitely a lot of tension between Lindsay and Carl during their first date. Let's watch.
Because I'm going to get defensive when someone's yelling at me.
Okay.
Because I'm a
Why
very...
is this now you're like...
Because you need to stop yelling at
You're
me.
insulting me.
Talk to me like a human.
I am. I'm fired up.
Then calm the take a laugh.
Easily the worst date I've ever had.
I mean, Hub House seems activated during this date. Like, Like, I don't even know where to begin with this. This seems like the worst first date I've ever seen on reality television. Like, literally, it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen.
The thing with them, though, is like they've been friends. So that's not really like what a first date is like. You know, like
their history there.
Yeah, you can't call that a first date because they've hung out by themselves so many times before.
Because they're both very passionate people, I would say.
Great word. Yeah, great describing word.
Do you think their relationship could actually work?
I think it could if they really wanted it to. Like, if they really wanted to put the effort and the work into it, they could have a great relationship.
Who wants the relationship to happen least, Lindsay or Carl?
Least? Mm-hmm. Probably Carl. Because Lindsay's more mature and she would like know what it takes to make a relationship work, and I don't know if Carl was ready for that.
Fair enough. Well, Carl actually mentions in the episode that, you know, you should date your best friend. You know,
Totally.
You should end up with your best friend. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
But not in the Lindsay context. Is that what you're saying?
Just not Lindsay and Carl.
Just not Lindsay and Carl is what you're saying, Paige.
I think like if they really wanted to be together, it could happen and they could make it work, but I just don't see it happening.
Have you ever met a girl that you thought would be right for Carl? I mean, I know you guys had your little like thing last summer, but that didn't last so long. You've never met a girl where you're like, she should date Carl.
No, he hasn't brought one around. Like the closest would be Lindsay probably. Because Lindsay can like put up with certain things that he does that I don't think that other girls could.
Right, because they have such a strong bond outside of any romantic interest.
Totally.
Well, speaking of Carl's exes, Danielle seemed really salty about them being together. Do you think she needs to get over it? Like, what is their relationship like? Do you feel the tension in the house?
Oh, that's such an interesting question because, like, on one hand, if one of my friends started dating someone I used to date, I'd be like, hello, have you ever heard of girl code?
Right.
But also, it was like they dated for, like, such a short period of time. So, like, who cares?
Fair.
But I think Danielle's so close to Lindsay that she could foreshadow this just blowing up. And it was almost to like save Lindsay.
So she almost like was like, okay, kind of letting it happen. Because she was like, I know how this is going to end up.
Yeah, you'll do it on your own anyway, but like I know what's going to happen. You're going to be crying.
And that's what happens. What can we expect from tonight's episode? What's going to happen tonight?
So tonight's episode is our 4th of July party. So you'll definitely see Armand and Luke.
Okay,
like,
which means I'm going to see Kyle in a costume.
Kyle is in a costume. And then Carl and Kyle give a really great speech. And so you'll see how that...
When you say great speech, is that like a Paige DeSorbo, like a sarcastic thing, or is that a genuine Paige DeSorbo great speech?
They give a great speech, and like at the end, it's insane. It's just them being very them.
Okay, all right. Well, Paige, thank you so much for chatting with me. I love you. A brand new episode of Summer House airs tonight at 9/8 Central on Bravo.